In a society where every stranger is a potential threat, it's important to take precautions and remain vigilant at all times. Former Navy SEAL Clint Emerson says always be prepared for an emergency. In his book, 100 Deadly Skills, Clint shares skills he learned to protect himself at home and abroad. His methods will improve your chances of surviving any dangerous situation. Well, you have over 20 years of experience as a former Navy SEAL. And when I imagine your job, I think like James Bond or something like that. So I'm just wondering, so what was it like for you being a Navy SEAL?
It's not as cool as James Bond. No Aston Martins, no pretty women everywhere, yeah. 20 years, you end up seeing great parts of the world that most people don't. Obviously, during this timeline, ended up in a lot of conflict. And you see a lot of things, and you gain a lot of experience that, for the book, is to give everybody a little bit of that skill-wise, so that they can get themselves out of crisis or danger if it comes their way.
Can you describe one of the most dangerous situations you were in and how you got out of it?
Probably one of the most memorable moments that definitely got me thinking about what I need to do next time, because there was a lot of errors, was I took a right-hand turn leaving work and coming home, and I was overseas, and I turned right into about 3,000 angry people. There was a riot going on, and all of a sudden I'm in my car by myself and surrounded by a bunch of folks that were emotionally charged. And the car started rocking. People wanted to get in. They were very aggressive. They probably wanted to just, get rid of me, basically. And I had to rely on some instincts, but the things I learned from that is make sure you always have a full tank of gas. Make sure you always have plenty of minutes on your SIM card so that you can call for help. Unfortunately, I had been working, and it was like the end, so I didn't have any gas, I didn't have any more minutes, and I found myself in a bad situation. I ended up actually seeing some sympathetic eyes in the crowd, one of which was a soldier. And so I literally made the international symbol for money, because I did have some cash on me. I took a chance because I didn't see any other options. And I gave him entry into my vehicle, and he took his AK-47, held it up at the crowd parted, and we drove off.
That works.
But I took a huge risk letting someone in. That was part of the anger. But in that situation, it was really, there weren't any other options. It was really the only option when you're surrounded by people. Your car isn't going to go anywhere, whether you think so or not.
Right. And I want to talk about your book, 100 Deadly Skills. And I know now we live in a society where anything can happen. There could be a shooter coming in, or a lot of the countries where we air, there's a lot of, terrorism and different things. So how can the everyday person prepare for something like that? Or what should they do in that situation?
Yeah, I think first you need to, one, get educated. Learn, a lot of the skills in the book are what bad guys could use against you. So knowing what they can do obviously neutralizes them to a certain degree, but it also kind of sensitizes your instincts so that you know what to look for and understand certain clues and cues in the environment, and hopefully you see it coming, and then you can elude it altogether and never actually find yourself in the middle of an event like that. But the element of surprise is always there, so you have to, in a point of conflict, you need to already have some decisions already made. And so you want to know that, okay, I want to increase distance from the threat. So that means run, get away from it. I'm going to hide behind things that stop bullets. I'm going to fight if I have to. And if you're going to fight, team up with a group of people, look for weapons around you, and take the fight to the bad guy and survive.
So what are some everyday things that we can carry with us that would help in situations like that?
A lot of what I've been pushing is everyday items. A steel barrel pen, a pen that's made out of good quality steel. You can find them at any market around the globe. They can be used to poke an eye out, hit a rib. The goal is to inflict pain so that you can get away. Razor blades are everywhere. Have one in the sole of your shoe. You have to basically think, all right, if I'm restrained, what can I still get to? I can still get, if my hands are behind my back or in front of me, I can still get to my shoes. So you can have razor blades in the sole of your shoe. They're always there. If you find yourself taped up or tie-tied, zip ties, the razor blade's there to get you out. Bobby pins, women have them all, they use them, they have them all over the place. Those are great for shimming zip ties and other restraints. And then, of course, leveraging and understanding your environment. There's fire extinguishers hanging on all walls. Those are great to use against bad guys. Salt and pepper shakers. Salt and pepper burns the eyes. It creates enough pain so that you can get away and survive.
Yes, survival is the key.
Yes, it is.
Now, there's so many great tips in this book, 100 of them actually, and we, of course, don't have enough time to talk about all of them. But for you, what would you say is your favorite?
That's a tough one. I think with today's environment, the cyber skills in there, anybody could leverage so that when you're surfing the internet, you're doing it in a manner that doesn't give up personal information. I also think the active shooter section is important these days with as many shootings as there's been globally, along with understanding improvised ballistics. What can I hide behind that really stops bullets or can protect me from an explosion? I think those are probably my highlights right now. And my favorites based on, the current threats.